I guess since I'm already doing it, I might as well show you guys how to do this. Or it's pretty simple, really. I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out if you really wanted to. But in case you can't, and you're like me and like watching YouTube videos on everything, I want to show you how to do this, or how I'm doing it. Okay, so here's what we got going on here. All right, these two guys I already mounted because I didn't plan on videoing this until I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? I would have liked to watch a video before I did it. These are, they're supposed to be Cree LED. There's like 4 LEDs in each. I got these off of eBay for 30 bucks for both. That's for 2 of them, and they just come with the 2 lights. They got a power and a ground on them, and they actually come with nuts and bolts, okay, like, and a couple of washers. Well, since mine is on my truck, I did these guys. I found my own bolts because the ones that came with it weren't long enough to go through my bumper. So I found some different nuts and bolts, and I just stuck it through right here by my license plate. There's 3 holes. I wanted one on each side, and I got a washer. And then underneath there, this one I actually have a washer and a lock nut, which I wish I would have thought of doing on that side, but I didn't. And it just has a little bracket that you have to screw these things in the nut, and it holds the like round bracket on, and then you can adjust them down and back and all that fun stuff. I tightened them up, made them really tight, had them going straight down, pointing at the ground, and got the nuts and washers on, and then I, just used force and pulled them up because you want it to be tight, because it's a pain to get inside here and mess with them washers anymore. So you want them tight, and then I just forced them up where I wanted them. And so I was thinking, I can wire all this myself, but I was like, hey, I was at Walmart the other day, and I seen this for 15 bucks, like $14.99. Now I'm telling you what, you got the relay, you got the wire, you got more than 15 bucks here. It's pre-wired, pre-heat shrinked. I mean, yeah, they got a cheap relay on here, but shoot, I don't even really use relays ever for things like this, but you should. It's got a little fuse, built-in fuse, yada yada, and it actually comes with directions. This is, most people mount them on the front of their vehicle, but it shows you how to wire it. But I mean, you don't got to be that much of a genius. Here's your battery, positive and negative on your battery posts. This just gets like put a metal tapping screw just to hold it tight somewhere to hold it still. This I do not like because, well, now I got to find a connector to connect into that, where I just got a positive and negative hanging. But I don't care, because since I'm going to the back of my truck, and my truck is a long bed extended cab, I got to cut these anyway. And one of them's red. If you look in here, one's red, one's black. I'm just going to cut these off. I got to extend these wires anyway, because they're not going to be long enough to make it back here. And just hook them in. And say, screw these connectors. They'll go in the trash. I'll use butt connectors. You can use heat shrink, all that. But pretty awesome little deal. I mean, it feels cheap. It says Chinese stuff on it. Can't really see. I don't feel like holding on there. This actually hooks into the switch that comes with it, to where I got it hanging down here. I actually disconnected it. It unconnects, just snaps together. And I got it going through my firewall up here. I already had some wires for like my brake controller and my plow already going through the firewall. There's usually a grommet up in here where things go through. There's usually room for more things. But as you can see here, where'd it go? Oh, it's right here. The switch just snaps right back in, and you find somewhere to mount it or whatever, and you can use a different switch. It doesn't matter. But it just clicks in. So what I'm getting ready to do now is my relay is probably going to be mounted like right in here. I'll probably metal tap it here or something like that. Battery connections are just going to unscrew this, stick it on there, positive, screw that back on, boom. Same with the negative. And my my wires to go back to my lights, I'm going to feed down through there with, it's going to kind of run with this, and then I'm just going to run it up on my frame rail. See, I got plastic down here because of course it had to rain a little bit today, but you see here, yeah, a bunch of rust. This truck's falling apart. I already have a little thing. I'm just going to zip tie it, run it as far as I can with that, and then I'll zip tie it all the way back to those fellers and connect it. But that's how I'm going to do it. Let me keep doing it, and I'll show you how it turns out. All right. So, still not hooked to the battery, as you can see. But it's a very short run to that relay. You know, like I'd have to have my relay like up over here. I mean, there's like no wire. So, I want my relay, I want to metal tap it right there on the side where it's back out of the way. So that's going to be the next step. And sorry, I got to smash some. Looks rowdy, doesn't it? These are getting extended because there's no way I'm just going to have my relay up here flopping. And like I said, I fed it down through there. And if you're like me and you got any wires, which most likely you got some factory wires coming, you know, coming around or something like that, maybe, you know, you got to be careful when you're yanking wires down through here, because you can pull apart other wires or break things, you know. And I mean, this stuff, the stuff that's on this kit is really, it feels like it's not going to break, like it's durable, but it's very stiff, so it wants to stay knotted up. As you see, you know, I got coming down through here my wires. Of course, they're not zip tied to anything, so they're just kind of flopping, but they will be. And then you can see there's no way that's going to make it all the way back to my truck there, so they get extended. And then up here, here's what I really do like though. Look at this slack, man. Look at this. Look at this crap. I can run my switch. There's my switch. I can run this sucker like outside my truck. I mean, this thing is long, but so I'm gonna have to zip tie that together and find a place for this if I want to use this switch. Also says before you hook it up, you know, you should unhook your battery. Well, I have two batteries because this is a diesel and I'm not unhooking both of them. Plus, this should be off. I'm gonna have to do some research. I got this same little diagram on my wood splitter, and I can never remember which one's off and which one's on. I'm thinking that's a closed circuit and that's open. So the down should be off. I don't know. I'll have to look. It'll take me 2 minutes, but yeah. Still going, but you know, piece of cake. Figured I'd go ahead and show you this real quick. Now, I had some red and black wire, okay? But it wasn't the right size. And I would rather run the same colored wire and be smart about it than run two different sizes. Here, I did splice them together. Sorry, hold on. See, there's my red and my black spliced together. I couldn't get heat shrink over these guys. They were being a pain, and I'm losing daylight quick. So I got that going. Had to put that back there on the firewall because up here it wasn't having it. Sorry. Got my headlamp on. So it's back there. Now, up here, see, I kept it red and black up here. Just, you know, to dummy proof it. But it's not hooked up because I got to hook up these guys back here first. To do that, you see I got my zip ties and my cutters. Let me get underneath there. You guys can come under with me. I'll tell you what, when you're working under a Dodge, you better have some eye protection, because I just had to go take my contact out because rust all in my eyes. Oh, you should be worrying about... Wait a minute. There we go. It went back sideways. Sorry, the screen went sideways. I know. Anyway, I know you're thinking you should be worried about your truck falling apart. Yada, yada, yada. That's nice. I don't care. It's a Dodge. It'll take it. It's all zip tied there. I'm going to bring you over to here to show you. See, it's coming down from up there and it's zip tied there. Now I have to go all the way to the back, so, and I'm going to show you, I guess you could say, the hillbilly way. Oh, if I don't fall down, the hillbilly way, I'm going to do it. That's right. I'm going to use this speaker wire. Reason being on that is I don't have enough power and ground, like primary cables, to run all the way to the back. And I guarantee you, that's small wire. I done looked at the wire that's coming from that set and the ones coming from my lights, and it's the same damn size. You know, 14 gauge. This is just some cheap stuff. This will keep my power and ground together easily, or tightly. So I'll have to do 2 runs with these. So it is what it is, folks. Still going. I'm going to show you this real quick. There's my splices. Yes, my speaker. This speaker wire is bigger than this red and black wire. And it's speaker wire. It's made to carry current. They're LEDs. They're not going to be pulling that much juice. Like I said, when you strip this heat shrink back here, cut these suckers off. It's just red and black. You know, make sure you do it right. You know, do it how you remember the white stripe on here. One of these wires has a white stripe. That's always my positive. So, and I electrical tape the crap out of them. And my butt connectors are actually a heat shrink thing. So now I'm just continuing back in the dark. I got a headlight on and finishing up my zip tying. And then I'm going to connect them back here to my lights, and then just power negative on my power and ground on my battery. Well, here's my moment of truth. It's dark out. I got a security light. Everything's all you can't really see it, it's dark, but that's all tied together. The only thing I haven't done is, see, my switch is still just chilling, but it's dark, and I've ate like once today, and it's I don't know, 7 o'clock, getting on that way. Got my negative tied in there, positive tied in there, got them zip tied. So here we go, boys. The moment of truth, hitting the switch. They work. They need to be adjusted. Also, my tailgate's down. Put everything up, put my tailgate up, see what we can do. Unfortunately, I have a security light here for this experiment, but they're bright. They're very bright. I looked into them like an idiot. About blinded myself. I can't... The bummer of it is, being underneath there, I can't adjust them a lot because I have very little room for my bracket to move. But I need to try them in the complete darkness and see how it would be. But I know that doesn't look like much coverage. I can see now that I need my left one turned that way farther. But I dig it. And if I don't, then I have my wires ran and I can run a light bar or wherever the crap I want to run back here. So there it is.